Bush League Podcast. A show about nothing and everything.
Apparently we're
That's how the podcast starts.
Jay, I feel left out without a camera. Look at these guys. Like they're all professional.
You're preaching to the choir there, buddy. We are non-camera people.
Yeah, this face is for radio. Or a podcast.
You got a nice little red dot there. I'm happy to see that. So I'm happy to see that little red light dot thing.
Is that the technical term for it?
All the boxes have a red dot.
They do.
That's right. We're all about to get sniped.
What's his red dot? Boom.
Wow.
Headshot.
I feel like it's been a while. I don't know what to do with myself right now.
Yeah. The more time goes by, the less we have to talk about.
Well, it's good to see at least two out of the four of us.
Cameron, you sound great.
No, I don't.
Great. You sound a little angry. You just get off work, eh?
Yeah, I just got off work.
Tell us, Cameron. Tell us, buddy, what's fueling your hate fire?
If I hear another old person say, I got this iPad thingy, I'm going to lose my mind. Do you know I'm 87 years old? Yep.
Wow.
Yep, I do.
Tell us how you feel.
I'm an old man. I can't take it anymore.
Well, you see, you grab the abacus out of the basement and then you shift this to this side and you push that to that side.
No, what I want to say is, do you still have the box? Yes? Great. Put it in the box, take it to the person that gave it to you, and beat them with it.
Yeah. Put it in the box, take your liver-spotted hands, take that box.
Shine it up real nice.
Turn it sideways and stick it straight up.
The bag that it came in.
So how are you, boys?
Oh, buddy. Well,
buddy. See,
buddy.
You make fun of me for being angry, but you can just tell the exhaustion in him. Oh, buddy.
yeah, except most of my stuff's confidential, so I can't rant and rave about it.
Fair enough.
Oh, gosh.
Well, if you ever want to get out of that industry, that's how you go. This is your swan song, buddy.
I do have a little
thought has crossed
news.
my mind.
A little news. My company got bought out.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Wow.
Congrats, buddy.
Yep. Now we're going to be owned by a Canadian company.
So who?
Oh,
Who
man. Is it the Strolls?
Lawrence Stroll got us again.
He
Oh, we
buys
can't
everything
complain.
else.
Well, and you know what, though? Proof's in the pudding, boys. Lonzo, just saying. I'm shocked. Vettel retires.
Shocked.
Alonso gets in the car. It's kind of like, wow.
Dude.
So just so everyone
First
knows, we haven't
race
done
of the
this in
year.
a while.
Yeah, we're talking F1, but
As usual.
but we won't go down the rabbit hole because I know that bores most people. They don't watch F1. But just
However.
know, and I have witnesses, you're saying Alonso shocked everybody, but Jeremy saw that I called that 2 days before the first race. I even said he'd take third.
You really did.
Yeah. Too bad they penalized him and then they gave it back. So
That was the second race.
Yeah, that was How did you know that? How was that your prediction? Because no one saw that coming.
he guessed. How do gamblers
coming.
gamble? They guess.
Educated guess. Actually, my entire top three was correct.
Oh, that's crazy.
That was, I'll never be right
Yeah,
again.
it was.
No.
Speaking of gambling, I really should have bet on it apparently because I haven't.
You're literally like 1 for 1 the entire podium.
Yep.
Quit, retire now. Go out and go out on top.
Yeah.
That was That's fun though. Alonso racing at the front of the field for the season. That's a fun story.
Yeah.
I mean, no one saw that
I
coming.
agree.
No.
So
And technically,
agree.
Aston Martin would technically be a Canadian team because it's owned by a Canadian. Just saying.
Well, what are they calling it though? Like, is it because it's quite the hybrid team for?
Yeah. Well, it's,
You know.
I'm pretty sure it's Aston Martin, but
So it's a
could've called it anything.
Canadian-owned British racing company with ties to India.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
And whose engine are they using?
Our friends.
Yeah.
Too bad their main team isn't doing anything.
I think you're using the Mazda Sky Active there.
Using
Sky
the
Active
old
X.
rotary.
Gosh.
Anyway, Cameron, you were saying a Canadian company bought your company? Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Yeah, a Canadian company bought us. It's already out there. It's on Yahoo, apparently. It's a company called Host Papa.
Host Papa?
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
man. Can I change your
Daddy.
name? Can I change your name? I can't.
Man, that is. I feel like that's a sponsorship meant to be Host Papa and Big Daddy. Let's go. Oh,
So yeah, they haven't taken over yet, but they are taking over.
okay.
So is there like any changes? Like have they told you anything or is it just kind of like business as usual?
Well, it's kind of business as usual.
What's their thoughts on vocal coach reactions at work?
Well, I don't really know about that. That has come up at work. So yeah, they agreed to acquire Deluxe Hosting Corporation, web hosting and logo operation. They did that on the 31st of January.
Wow.
Not bad.
Well, hopefully you get a great big raise out of it, right?
Well, I hope so, because been there a long time.
Yeah.
And they're a C-panel company, so yay for me. We'll see.
I mean,
Nothing's changed that I know of. Nothing. Anybody around me, nothing's changed. So
Man,
Still
until
answer the
AI
phones.
can do it all.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about
Oh my
that.
God.
Here we go. I had a guy call us, and he's got a WordPress site. Now, WordPress is, or anybody who doesn't know, it's just how you build
Yeah.
a website. And people use this template, and it's millions of people use it. So this old guy called us and said, "Listen, this is the problem I'm having." And I'm
Chat
like,
GTP took over my WordPress.
no, he was asking it how to fix his WordPress site and coming to me and saying, "This is what it's saying, and I agree with it. What do you think?" I'm like, "Well, it's wrong,
Well-
because it doesn't know this."
Was it ChatGPT?
Why didn't one of us think of this?
Yes,
Okay, so it might have been right before 2021.
maybe.
What
they-
does that
they-
mean?
So
Hasn't been
ChatGPT doesn't know anything before 2021.
Oh, really?
They pulled the
That's
plug
just-
on it.
Ah.
So it's still, and you can ask it stuff, and you can ask it. I find it very finicky. Like it's almost a skill knowing how to ask it to help you, to get it to actually help you. But it also doesn't know anything super current, right? So anything after 2021, it was getting too smart, so it shut itself off. Like it did teach
Okay.
itself No, but in the last 6 months, it did teach itself biochemistry, right? So they're getting a little freaked out.
Okay, so tell me this is not how every Terminator movie starts.
Oh no, man! It's Skynet. It's 100% Skynet. crap's going down. I can picture Dyson sitting there holding the bomb right now, ready to. Oh yeah.
Where's John Connor? I need John Connor.
So this client called in and basically tested artificial intelligence versus Cameron's intelligence,
Correct.
which sounds like an awesome segment for the show.
And insert music here.
We'd like We'd like to announce that ChatGPT is the 5th member of the Bush League podcast.
It'd be awesome. So, and like all of a sudden, the fifth square pops up. Like, where'd that come from?
It's a red dot.
Who knows more about World War II, ChatGPT or Cameron?
It's go time. It's go time.
F1. Who knows more about F1?
And in particular,
Vettel.
80s,
Apparently
70s, and 80s
Vettel
F1.
does. Vettel can rhyme off every single world champion in F1 from 1950 up to current, and I don't care who you are. That's amazing.
Now, I'm not being funny here. I thought you would have known how to do. I thought you would have known that. You don't know that?
My problem is I get a bit into the 60s, so I get really confused in the 60s with like Graham Hill and Jackie Stewart. Like I get really messed up in there because there's just a couple one-offs. So
Right.
I can hold my own, but I don't.
You could do better than most of the drivers did.
Oh, some of them are well. And Raikkonen did it. Raikkonen was the best. He goes, "What happens if I get it wrong?" Well, you're over. Ah, that's a shame. He intentionally did it so he wouldn't have to keep going.
Wow.
Kimi Raikkonen driving a NASCAR.
Yeah, I saw that. Or you sent that link there, yeah.
Yeah, I sent it. It was also Jensen Button was driving NASCAR that day too.
It's weird.
Man.
Yeah, right?
I'm excited to see the...
that's the only way they can actually do well.
Oh, let's move on.
Oh.
Oh.
All right. Yeah. Off
Let's
the F1.
move on.
As people shut off the podcast again because we keep talking about F1.
Gary, I believe you recently went on a trip.
As did Tyson.
So just cut off the segue.
Now we know who Cameron. Now we know who Cameron pays attention to. That's good.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, Gary, go ahead.
We took the family to Disney World in
Tyson?
January.
We took the family to Disney World the end of January.
Yeah, that was. He sounded like he was so impressed. We did it. I did it.
I caught COVID on day 4.
I caught COVID when we got home.
Man.
I would walk around the park for 15 hours, come back to the room, not sleep for 8 hours, get up and do it again.
Wow.
Wow.
Yikes.
Yeah, I'm just going to stop repeating. I'm about the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys weren't there at the same time, though, right? Didn't you?
I think
just
we
miss each
overlapped
other?
by a day or two.
One day.
Like probably a travel day.
Well, we would have. Yeah, almost. We were there on
flew
one
out on
day,
a
the same day.
Yeah, we flew out on a
and
Monday.
We landed on Saturday, Gary, but way later than we should have.
Yeah.
So then it turned into a whole. Anyway.
Tyson and his planes, the trips that always go well.
Well,
Mine went
it's
smooth.
not quite, back. It's not quite back from Africa, but the trip home did take 29 hours. So.
Holy Dians.
Well,
Seriously, if you're going on a plane, I'm avoiding the plane that you're on. No offense.
Yeah, but it was the planes were fine. It was getting on the plane.
We're
Unreal.
straight at this time.
Well, we did have a long layover, and we knew we would, but an 8-hour layover turned to almost 14 hours. And then, yeah, but the 8 hours is long enough, right? And then it's 14. And then they let us on, but then we sat on the plane for another hour. And then I'd like, because I know Air Canada listens to this, I'd like to bring up one thing.
Not a sponsor.
We're on the plane 4 hours later than we should be. We've been sitting on the plane for 45 minutes when the pilots get on. And the pilot says, "Sorry, folks, for the delay, blah, 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 blah. But we had to wait for us to get in. The plane had to wait for us to get in from Nashville to fly you folks to Moncton." And I'm sitting there thinking, so wait a minute. We couldn't get on this plane because our plane was late. But even if it was on time, our pilots weren't here anyway. So, what was your plan? Anyway, just so like, are all of them just late? Like, is it? Oh gosh. Anyway,
we
flew
through Bangor, so I avoided all connecting
nice.
flights and everything.
Nice. Yeah. When we went to Florida, the first time, we drove to Portland and took a direct from Portland down to Orlando.
Yeah, we did that once years ago.
Yeah. And the second time, then we flew into Miami and drove the 4 hours from Miami to where we were staying. That was a very long drive.
It's a boring drive between.
Nothing there. It's just like canals, fields.
Oh, man. There's a lot of stuff in Miami. There's a lot of stuff in Daytona. There's a ton of stuff in Kissimmee, Orlando. And they decided to put nothing in between those three.
It's true. It's 100% true.
You need space for the hurricanes to fit.
Oh, yeah. Fence posts with turtles on top of them, alligator crossings, and canals. There's nothing else.
Orange groves. Yeah. We drove by a ton of orange groves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow.
Anyway, we did get to the house by lunch, Gary, and we were all so sick we didn't feel like doing anything. We were on 1.5 hours sleep and feeling disgusting, and the whole first day was a write-off. We got some groceries and passed out. Like, it was...
By contrast, our flight left at like 6 o'clock in the evening in Bangor. So we crawled out of bed around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. We leisurely put the bags in the car and drove off. Crossing the border, no problem. Enjoy your trip, sir. Went down to Bangor, had some Chick-fil-A. Then, drove around Bangor for a little while, took in the sights, and said, our plane is leaving soon. We should head over. We just sat around and waited for the lady to show up and checked our luggage and everything and walked upstairs to security, and everybody's, hey, let's go. Great time. Just let us right through, and we just sat
Thanks for
and waited.
flying with us today, Mr. Godfrey.
Yeah. And then, the plane arrived on time, and then they opened up the gate plenty early, and we walked straight onto the plane.
Wow!
And we had planned an evening flight, so we didn't get to Orlando till 11:30, but that was the plan.
Yeah.
Then we got there and just drove straight to the resort and had a good night's sleep.
Bought a lottery ticket. Won $70 million.
I am so glad that they are not in the same room because I'm so fearful that Tyson would take something.
I had heard all the stories about going through Toronto or Montreal beforehand, so that was my only thing about the trip. Was like, nope, we're going through the States.
But see, when we started, and God bless Mom, she wanted us to all take this trip together or whatever, why we all can, right? And it was one of those deals where she booked the dates and Jill helped her book the flights long before I heard the horror stories about Pearson. Or we probably would have tried to, because you know what? The flight down, Gary, left on time. We landed on time. We were actually 20 minutes early, right? Everything with that flight was fine. It was the rental car for my sister was a nightmare, but everything else was fine. And her and poor Josh were like in that episode of Seinfeld. Like, you know how to take the reservation. You don't know how to take it. They were there for an hour and a half fighting over insurance in a car. What a mess. But anyway, everything else was on
These
time.
pretzels are making me thirsty.
Yeah. So then our flight on the way home left on time. Everything was on time. We get to Pearson, it all goes to crap. Yeah, same thing again. Just like on the way. Because even on the way there, we were delayed in Moncton. They were waiting for a flight out of Toronto that was late, and then picked us up, refueled, and flew us back to Pearson late, right? And anyway, just whatever.
Jeremy, I just have to say, seems to be a common theme that there's something wrong with Toronto.
Now, my flight coming back home, we boarded on the plane. Everything was great. And then a few minutes later, and then they said we had the plane the night before was planned to go to Fargo or something.
Fargo.
So it was fueled up for that, and that was too much fuel for us to take off with on the runway we were using. So they were like calling the fuel company to come and remove fuel from the plane so we could take off. And then like half an hour later, they're like, oh, apparently we're not allowed to do that. So we're going to have to deboard this plane and go wait inside so we can board another plane that will have the proper amount of fuel in it.
Wow.
Wow.
What a strange problem.
I've never heard. Yeah, I've heard of like de-icing a wing or yeah, we have too much fuel. It's like, well,
Weird, eh?
how close do you run those merchants? Like,
Yeah.
I guess like one runway must be a lot shorter than the other one or something.
plus your weight, plus your luggage, and the amount of people, and yeah. Still,
But yeah, you would think they would know you can't remove the fuel, but it took like half an hour to get that message back.
well, you know what? I don't understand why the pilots just didn't hop in or gunner on the just sit there and make the brake on and just burn through it.
Sometimes you wonder if they think about stuff like that.
Ignore the noise, folks.
Yeah, don't worry.
747 out doing donuts out in the field off to the side.
Boys,
What is he doing?
that
He's just
plane's
burning off fuel.
Plane's been idling for an awful long time.
So I remember coming back from the Netherlands by myself one time. I went on a trip for work, and we're at everything. I was basically my last night there. I stayed near Amsterdam, so I literally a half an hour after leaving the hotel, I was at the Amsterdam airport. Everything leaves on time. Everything boards on time, and so we get on the flight. We're all sitting there, and the pilot comes on. I remember there's an empty seat next to me. I'm right smack in the middle, but it's one of those ones where there's 4 seats in the middle and there's 3 on either side. You know what I mean? And there's an empty seat next to me, and then there's a couple, and she's very talkative. That's a nice couple, and we're noticing like we've been sitting there for 45 minutes now, and the plane is like only half full. And finally, the pilot comes on and says, "Folks, we hope no one here minds. We will make sure that you make all connecting flights when we land, but a tour group from Canada that toured Spain, their flight is late and they're just getting in. And if I don't wait, over 40 people are going to miss their flight. Like they're not going to get home." So everybody kind of like, okay, well, what are you going to do? Within 10 minutes of him saying that, you can see them all come rushing on. The plane is packed. I think I scored. The only empty seat on the whole plane are between me and this couple. Kid you not. And she looks at me like, okay, sets her bag up. I set my bag up. She's like, want some pretzels? Like everything's like, you know what I mean? We're sharing the space. There's lag room, the whole bit. The pilot comes on a half an hour later and announces, "Folks, I'm very sorry. I'm being told by air traffic control that we missed our taxi time." And we all sit together on this plane for another 2 hours. I was 3 hours on that plane before we left to fly into Toronto. And when I land in Toronto, they're trying to let people through, but they're really not like the people in front of you. You guys know what they're like on those. They're like vultures getting their bags out of the overhead bin, won't let anybody through. So I remember like I land and at the time, like on the plane, I have no way to message Amanda, who's going to pick me up in Moncton, that I'm late. When I get off that plane and I have to go through customs, I have 30 minutes to get on my next flight if the doors aren't closed. And I run down to get my bag, and everyone let me through. Like, go, go, go. You got a connecting flight. Go ahead. And customs was like, let me through. I go downstairs, wait by the luggage corral. My bag is the last bag to come up.
Yeah, that's the way it always works.
So they all let me through for nothing. Yeah, but Cameron, you won't predict what happens next, I swear. So my bag is the last bag to come up, despite everyone having let me through. And now all the people that let me through are seeing me stand there like an idiot waiting for my bag. My bag comes up. And I'm beelining. I can picture the downstairs of Pearson because they got those ugly giant Coke machines and all this stuff. And I run up that hallway to go get in the next check to go through security to get to the next terminal. The entire national women's Chinese soccer team gets in front of me. What is that? I don't know what
I just found the best feature.
Oh my gosh. So they all go through. So it gets better. You could have saved that, Jay, because they all go through security. All of them. I'm the random security check. Me. So they hauled me to the side. I have to empty my bag, take off my coat, do all the stuff and everything. And I'm saying to them, like, this is going to sound like an excuse. Like I'm trying to get, like, I now have 15 minutes to catch my flight. And they're like, oh, you got lots of time to catch your flight. And here I am. I haven't eaten anything. I haven't, you know what I mean? I've been on a plane for 12 hours that I was supposed to be on for 7. And you know, and so I literally, they let me go and they were wrong. I didn't have lots of time. I walked down that aisle, got on the plane. She took my ticket. She smiled, said, just made it. And they closed the door behind me.
Ooh. What?
What is happening?
What's going on?
I don't even know how I feel right now.
It was the punchline of that. The door closed behind him.
The funniest part is Jeremy feeling the need to explain the why he chose to do that there.
The reason because I don't know if that goes on the individual audio files or if it just goes on like the main.
I guess we're going to find out.
Well, you would think it would go because we all heard it.
If it doesn't go, you'll have to insert something because people are going to be like, what are they talking about? And I don't know what they're reacting to.
That's why I just kind of explained.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah. This is why I'm explaining stuff.
In case you're wondering, folks, we're trying to fancy a new platform that's better than Zoom. And
it's really fancy. I'm quite impressed.
The delay is a lot better. It's a lot easier to talk.
We can see how involved Gary is.
But there's also a media thing with some built-in sounds.
Gary's doing jazz hands right now.
Oh boy, Gary. Yeah!
Thank you.
Yeah, let's go, buddy.
Thank you. It's a great accomplishment.
Wow. I really do. I like this a lot better because
I do too.
Well, you know, we're techie people. We like tech stuff.
Except
what do you mean? Except we never get anything working right. But this appears to be working right.
Before and folks are wondering, it was like the perfect storm of us being this late with an episode coming out. But including our social media stuff, I'd like to give a special shout out to Facebook.
Oh boy. Buckle up.
I won't go into a lot of detail because
he wants to.
Yeah, but Big Daddy already talked enough tonight about Air Canada and stuff, so I
one corporation at a time.
One corporation at a time. But just know, folks, if you have a Facebook account, it is possible for it to just break on its own and you've done nothing wrong, apparently. So one day I noticed, I'll give you the Spark Notes version because it's like the real version. It could take me 2 hours and a cup of coffee to tell you, so I really will speed it. But one day I noticed I logged out because I leave my Facebook like on my personal laptop, on my phone and stuff, it's logged in. So I noticed one day I logged out to do something. Someone needed to do something on my laptop. They gave it back to me. And I actually think it was something to do with the podcast. I went to log back in and I couldn't. And it just said, something went wrong. Please be patient. We're trying to fix it. And I went, but I hopped on. Yeah, I know. I'm
from the tech world. In my world, it's like, you know what that means? What? You are pooched.
Yeah, you're screwed. So I hopped on my other laptop and it worked. And I thought, okay, well, as long as I have access. But it didn't actually work. I wasn't logged out. I was just still logged in. So the issue is actually me logging in. If I stay logged in, I'm okay. The second I log out, I can't get back in. So I'm still not cluing into that that's what the problem is. Okay?
Uh-oh.
So I get a new phone. Well, a new to me phone. You guys know how that works. I get a new phone. I give Mikhail my old one, so he has a phone now, and I wipe it or whatever and give him the phone, and we get him his own number and everything all set up. And I'm setting up my new phone. I install Facebook and realized, Amanda, like, I'm telling her, like, I can't log in. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, I can't log in at all. Like, my Messenger's gone, Business Suite's gone, Facebook's. I can't get anything to work. And, like, on top of, like, my kids were born after I even got Facebook. Like, all my memories and pictures are on there. You get reminded of stuff. I have looked up. I have Googled. I know Jeremy was even looking for me at one point. Like, this is stupid. There's got to be a way to get your account back, right? And I have faked that I've been hacked to try to get a hold of somebody. No. I get so far, it asks me to change my password. Sure will. I'll change my password. It'll let me change my password. Like, the account exists. You can see my wall. You can go post something on my wall. You can tag me in crap. You can do whatever. I cannot log in. Like, if I ever get access to this thing again, my messages are going to be like a time capsule to 2022 because I have no idea.
And when you get in, you're going to make us all administrators.
Well, I tried that, Cameron, and someone quit on
He
me.
did.
Well,
I
you
thought we
didn't
were all
pick-
administrators.
Listen, you didn't hook to the right horse.
Jeremy, you were an admin. I thought I had mages all administrators.
I thought we all were. I'm telling you. I thought Cameron was and Gary
tell
was.
you what.
I'll tell you what.
Because why would I not? Like, why would I not do that? Right? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think at the time I thought was like, oh, well, we got 3 of us in here that don't need me. Because like the Android app didn't have an option to switch between personal and the page account. So like I was responding to people like as the podcast, but like
It was supposed to be
context
from
was
you,
wrong
and then
because
you
it
were
was supposed to be from me.
And then you try to post as the podcast, and it would say Jeremy Bourque on it because it was yeah.
So I just was like, all right, I can't. But I thought we were covered. I thought we had enough people.
the perfect storm, Jay. The perfect storm.
Anyway, it's not dead in the water, but all the stuff I used to do, like on the day the podcast comes out, the cover photo changes, the YouTube video gets posted, the episode gets posted, all this stuff. Like I like Gary can do that now for me, but Gary can't check the analytics and stuff like I was checking and doing. You know what I mean? Like,
just email Zuckerberg, ask him to do it.
And it's an extra. Man, I even tweeted at Elon Musk to buy Facebook. Also, speaking of which, I made it to.
Surprised that didn't work.
Yes, but for like 60 days straight, I tweeted at Facebook every day. So every account they had, and I would update how many days I was offline right up until I thought I got help 3 weeks ago. So maybe I should do the math and see how many and start up again every day. Oculus tweeted back at me and tried to help me, and they got nowhere. So
I boil it down to like, if you don't pay for their service, they don't have any reason to. And we're such a small
What? Are
fish.
you mean something you're not paying for? They're not going to give you more help if you pay? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would pay for help if I could get the account back with all the pictures of my kids and anniversaries and you know what I mean? Like I would pay for help.
Man, I wish I had a little piano sound here I could play.
Oh,
little violins in the background.
Little violin, no.
Wow. Anyway, that's
transition.
And we're back for the third period.
wow.
Toronto's losing 5-0 to the Montreal Canadiens. Oh, I'm sorry.
Good burn. Good burn.
Gary brings his own effects.
Cameron, you know that Toronto's in second, right?
I only watch hockey between racing, and that's for like a month.
You could have had a burn. Your team is Boston.
Having a historic season.
Like literally, oh yeah, man. Like breaking records and first overall, just having a dominant season. And then your burn on Toronto is Toronto loses to Montreal and your team is dominating right now. Like just rocking it.
My problem is when a team dominates like that, when they get to the playoffs, they get like eliminated quickly.
Oh, that's what I keep coming back to, right?
The predictions are Boston and Colorado.
The Lightning.
Oh. I don't know about them Av fans.
You just wait till we get the captain back.
They give up being an admin. They're quitters.
Boys, should we see did anyone see if anyone 12 comments.
Yeah, well, do you want to do Bush topics?
I think we should do Bush topics.
Bush topics. Music here.
Bush topics.
Cameron does that every time. Every time.
I just wait because I know he's going to do it.
Well, yeah, because it's like I wait because Jeremy's going to insert the music there. And then every time Cameron does it, and then my mind goes, oh yeah, Cameron does that every time after he does it. All right.
Well, I'm consistent.
I've got the Bush topics. We got quite a few, actually. A lot came in today.
There's a lot here.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
good timing.
Cameron's like, nice. Yeah. I'm still not paying attention to the page, but good for us. All right.
No, I looked at it. I looked at it before. I actually know what's coming. So that's different.
Sponsored by Facebook.
That's different.
Heather would like to know if you could bring back any wrestler or wrestlers from the 80s or 90s, who would it be and why?
Hawk and Animal.
Why?
Doink and Dink.
Why Hawk and Animal? Because they were just...
No, Heather's question was, and why?
Oh, and why? Oh, because I feel that they were one of the greatest tag teams in history.
All right, I'm going to go with Roddy Piper because he wouldn't have any time for all this woke nonsense. Admit it, you'd like to hear his commentary on all the stuff going on in the world. He would just...
Oh wow.
Just imagine.
Agreed.
Ultimate Warrior.
I feel like we all
because
do.
he's the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no other choice.
There's no other choice.
More for the interviews than anything.
If I could bring Papa Shango back with him, that would be great.
Man.
I like Prime. I'm all about Prime Iron Sheik.
Oh well,
he
He's still got her. He's still got her on Twitter.
Yeah, that was well played, Jay. Iron Sheik.
Yep, well played.
Very well played.
I cannot get enough of the Iron Sheik.
No.
So funny.
Yep.
Right. Do not open his Twitter account with any kids around.
Just no children there. It is worth the gander for sure. But he's had an account for 10 years and he's never, ever put in a lowercase letter.
Not one.
Not once. Not once.
I'm just going to hang on a sec.
Yeah,
here we go.
Hang on.
I know what you're doing.
I will do a heavily censored
It would have to be heavily censored
version.
Censor it in post.
Yeah. I'll say it all flat out right now.
This should be good.
So his pinned tweet in all caps. Take a minute out of your day to be nice to someone, you dumb son of a...
It's just I mean, it's
classic
crazy.
Sheik.
Like
if you have a blue house with a blue window, you can go yourself forever. Then it's like F the Monday, F the economy. Lesson number 1: don't be a dumb son of a. Retweet if you're not a jabroni.
Retweet.
Well, the one I seen was the at Stacy Keebler, the Iron Sheik class Baba. Like, what?
Yeah, that means
what does that even mean?
I don't know.
He says like one of 3 things. He tells something to go F itself, or he says the whatever is the real Bubba, and if he says Bubba, it means you're in with him. It means you're good.
Yep. Man, I don't want to deep dive into the other stuff that. Marty Jannetty posted a bunch of stuff today that we can't even air. Like there's just no.
Oh yeah, there's no. He's right off the rails.
Right off the rails.
He's off the rails.
Like I can't even.
Really?
I can't even hint to what it was that he posted today. That's how bad what today was.
Oh yeah, no. They're just
like just.
Do you find okay? So here's the thing: we all watched these guys in the '80s. Some of us, and the early 90s, and like the older they get, it seems like every old wrestler like goes right stark raving mad.
Not all of them, but he really takes the cake. Like he.
Yeah, we thought the Sheik did.
Bob Backlund has more sanity than Marty Jannetty. All right. Chris Doyle would like to know, would you rather fight one Chuck Norris or 100 chickens? And go.
The chickens. I'm going to take at least a couple of the chickens out before I go down. You're not going to beat Chuck Norris.
Am I under a rock here? Is like 100 chickens a magic army of chickens that is like just you cannot defeat them?
Now, see, Jeremy, I like the way you think, because is it 100 farm chickens? Is it chickens the way we know it? Are they cooked chickens? Or are they chickens like the penguins were on Batman Returns with missiles and infrared goggles flopping down and all this stuff? Like, where did all this gear come from? Because those would be quite the chickens. Like, you're fighting 100 robot chickens, right?
Robot chickens,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay.
I'm going to need to get more background before
We need a little more info.
deep diving into that.
I'm going to fight Chuck Norris.
Wow. Nice
Well,
knowing you.
I'm not going to win. But I could
obviously.
say, but I could say I tried. And there's too many unknowns about this 100 chickens.
You know you're going to lose to Chuck Norris 100%.
You know what you're getting with Chuck Norris. You know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting with 100 chickens.
I was once trapped in a cage with 20 pheasants, and it terrified me.
Why were you in a cage
yeah.
with 20 pheasants?
Of course he
know if
was.
he's
I'm not
being
even
real.
shocked. Yeah.
My cousin's grandfather had a pheasant preserve,
And what you do?
so we
open
went
the door
in to
and
feed.
pushed in?
We went in to feed the pheasants.
Wow. And you
there's
got locked in there?
Well, no, we were in there to feed them, but
Swarm.
it was terrifying.
Swarm.
They knew I was the new guy.
they're trying to show their dominance.
I'm not
Fresh
surprised we
meat.
need to preserve them because those things are like wandering out in the road all over the place. You know, probably not many of them left.
So I'll take Chuck Norris. I'm not gambling on birds. Avian flu.
Yep. I'm with you, Gary.
Don't play with birds.
No. You can take that to the bank, kids.
Wow.
Amanda would like to know, oh gosh, are you an introvert or extrovert? Has it changed over time? Cameron?
If I knew the meaning of either one, I'd be good. Well, I know it. Okay, so I know an extrovert is an extrovert is a person that's
It's like
I don't
having
know.
one extrovert.
yeah,
You know?
exactly. You have a couple
You know what I
verts
mean?
here and there.
Yeah.
Cameron,
few.
are you an innie
Yeah,
or an
extra.
outie?
Okay. I'm an idiot. It's all right.
Do you gain energy by being around people or by being by yourself?
Gary's going to analyze your personality now and tell you what colors you are.
Here we go.
Kick up your feet, Cameron.
Here we go.
Well, I'm already laying on the couch, so I might as well start the therapy session right now.
Cameron's
Well,
an
Dr.
extrovert,
Godfrey.
though. Hey, I would say
Yeah.
he's an extrovert.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, okay.
No, but some people are, it's almost like a spectrum, right? Like some people are extroverts and some people are extroverts. I'm
Extrovert with turbo.
no, but I'm an extrovert with my friends and I'm an introvert with people that are new to me or
with your enemies.
yeah, well, no, but you know what I mean? Like I will joke around in front of my entire
Yeah.
class and make them laugh and teach a lesson, or I go out with you guys and I'll yell stuff at a wrestling match and be an idiot in front of complete strangers.
Yes.
But then I sit in a staff meeting with 50 of my peers and it's like, I'm not saying anything. So
Yeah, I'm like that. I agree with that one.
it's very situational for me. So
We know Gary's definitely the same as us.
I'm an introvert.
That's good. I
don't know. I don't know.
I-
I've heard you yelling at people in concert lines. I'm just saying.
That's what just
I've
came to
done
my
that,
mind too.
Introvert would say nothing. An extrovert would say, "You greedy."
Yeah. I was there.
man,
It's funny because I was there
also-
3 weeks ago and I pointed at the spot and I'm like, that's where it happened. That's the famous Gary yelling at a crowd.
And the
Happened
reason-
right there.
The reason you remember it is because it was so out of place because I am so introverted.
True. It is true. It's always the quiet one.
Oh, boys, do you know there's more to this?
I can sit and stare at a wall for hours. Just happy in my own little mind, creating my own little world.
Does that have to do with being an introvert, though? Or does it? I don't know.
Sure.
No, I thought they
People
were the
think
peop-
it's just people things, but it's just where you gain your energy from
Right.
and what drains your energy.
Yeah, but hang on now. Did you know there's more of these? You could be other verts. There's an ambivert and an omnivert.
Omnivert.
It means you're ever present of all the verts. You're all of them. Omnivert.
The ruler of
What's
the
an
verts.
God's an
ambivert?
omnivert.
What's an ambivert? You take an Ambien and
I think
They
it's
go both ways.
ambivert. Might as well say cop out because it means you're both.
Cop out.
oh,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be bivert?
Oh, here we go.
Just don't call me a pervert. Oh man, I don't have the horn thing. Pew, 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 pew.
All right. Jeremy, what are you?
I just made fun of it, but I would probably say the ambivert reading this thing, because it means you get like Gary was saying there, our therapist there was saying, I get my energy from being alone, but I like to expel it. That sounds gross. In
You like to eliminate?
with other people. Yeah.
But that might be me too. Then I guess I just didn't know it had a name. Like it's because I enjoy
Like,
my alone
I-
time. Like leave me alone. You know what I mean? But then
Yeah.
under the right
Yeah.
circumstances, I'll be cracking jokes and be do whatever. And
Like the way I think of it is like if we do something with a bunch of people, I will try to plan the next day to just like
to do nothing.
bury myself in the basement. You know what I mean?
that's fair.
By
A
myself.
people hangover.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I think what we've learned is that everybody's everything. You just
And you know
I
what?
don't know if we can be specific.
That is the point of this podcast: is that we all learn something. So
That's
We
right. We've just
learn a little bit about ourselves and our friends.
38 episodes in. We've got a mission statement.
Jillian would like to know who is your favorite sibling and why is it your sister?
Well,
You know what? Actually, we could all answer that. We could all answer that.
but
Yeah.
we're not going to.
No, we're gonna
Next.
move on. Taylor Shea Screen. I feel like this could go terribly wrong. Taylor would like to know what would your rap name be?
That's a great question.
Oh wow,
I'm gonna go with Big Daddy.
Tyson Big Daddy.
Big
yeah,
Daddy.
I was gonna say.
And Cameron there, what's your host papa? I like it when you call me host papa. Put your hands in the air. Host papa.
Cameron's like,
Tyson's
yeah, I
Big Daddy
can't top
because
that.
that's his name
No, I
in
can't.
the thing here we're using.
I,
Put Big
wow.
Daddy.
over the years, have referred to myself as Big Daddy way more often than I should.
I can confirm.
You might as well say Big Daddy Cool at that point.
Oh, gosh. I'm not worthy.
No,
I don't
you're
know.
not.
What
I
about
tell-
you, Gary? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah, you were about to say something.
I don't know what I was going to say. Let's throw it to Gary. It's already gone.
I don't know. Triple G unit.
Triple G unit.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's because there is a rapper named G Unit, right?
But you're triple G.
I think there was.
So I'd be Triple G Unit.
I think they all die eventually, don't they? They get killed. That's part of the thing.
Wow.
Right by.
Jay, did you say yours?
No, but I think I don't know. Wouldn't it just be like J Dog? Would that be it?
Fair enough.
Jaboriquai.
Jaboriquai. Oh, man.
Jaboriquai. I love it.
That's very good.
Speaking of which, Jamiroquai is underrated. I just like to, anyway.
It's about time someone said it.
Robin asked, and I feel like this is a variant of what we asked before. It's a combo. I feel like this is very similar to like 3 different questions we've been asked before, but it's merged into one. What is one food you could eat for the rest of your life, but who and where makes that food best?
Oh, no, that's the first part, you're good. But the second part, that's loaded.
You're going to offend somebody here.
Exactly.
But luckily for us, our families don't listen. They just pretend they do. So go for it.
Exactly. So we're good. Mine's always been pizza. We all know it. I'm a pizza person. The people that make the best pizza. Ooh. Are we talking like a business or a person? We get into that whole gray area.
She asked both. She said, who, where makes it best?
Oh, so the Who.
Great band.
Would actually be awesome band.
The Who pizza.
Homemade pizza with homemade dough made by Katie is a homemade. That's the best I've had at home for homemade. No one does it better. And for pizza that is
what did you do wrong this week? Nobody makes it better than Katie. I will fight all of you. Well, okay, go ahead.
Cameron goes to the local botanist for his pizza.
Jokes aside,
the best people that
Katie's make when we were in university, Katie made homemade pizza all the time. It was a Monday night
every
tradition.
Monday night.
Yeah.
It was botanical.
It was botanical.
Wow.
And the best pizza for me was CC's Pizza, which was in Florida. They make the best pizza.
I will challenge.
Bought host Papa.
George's Pizza in Chatham, Miramichi.
Okay,
George's. That is a good pizza.
That is amazing. It is good pizza. Yes.
Gosh,
Gary's
I don't know.
thinking so hard. I can see the smoke rolling out of his head.
Well, I might need to let the other two go.
You remember when I told you how I pick restaurants?
Oh,
boy. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
Drive in circles for 45 minutes.
What did you do in Florida, Gary? What did you do?
So many options.
Man, I didn't even, it's all on your phone. We stayed at the resorts on the park, so it's all just mobile order on your phone. So it's like, hey, you want to eat in an hour? I'll order it now.
Did you get the big chicken leg? Did you get the big turkey leg at Disney?
I did not, no.
Tastes like ham anyway.
Man, the prices at Disney now for food.
We never ate in the parks.
But it's worse now,
took snacks. We took snacks in a fanny pack and just
What was it, Gary? Like $5 for a bottle of water?
I only bought water the first day and then I started carrying it with me.
Well, that's what. So like for the fireworks, I went to get a couple of them drinks and like my nieces were with us too, right? So they were all sitting waiting for the fireworks to start. So I'll surprise them with popcorn. So I waited in line for 20 minutes. I bought all 4 kids a popcorn. And then the one says that'll be $62.
Yeah. Oh.
And I've already ordered it. So I'm standing there trying not to be sick while trying to not act like I didn't know what the price was, right? Like, here. Oh, will that be cash? No, that'll be MasterCard. $62. Let me go call my mortgage broker so I can get the...
You're paying for the reusable container.
Oh my gosh.
And then when you go back the next day and you bring the container with you, it's only $2.50.
It should be free. You paid $15 a pop for the container. Anyway, gosh.
Yep.
A food Florida story real quick while we're on to food, because it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. We went to the Golden Corral.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah, the buffet.
Oh, yeah.
Cameron, but just wait, because Cameron thinks he knows where this is going. You know, with my family, I'm winning that battle, right? I did not. I lost.
What?
And I've never been more proud. Mikhail put us all to shame. So he was on his 5th plate.
Whoa.
When we started to tell him to slow down, because that is a lot, that is a lot of chicken. Okay? Like, just maybe. So then he's like, yeah, okay. And I'm wondering, like, I'm full after like plate 4, because you're like, you haven't eaten all day either. You went, and then went to the Golden Corral. And Mikhail goes back, like I went and got like a piece of cake and a brownie, and everyone got something for dessert. Mikhail comes back with 2 pieces of cake, a bowl full of ice cream, 2 brownies, a cinnamon roll, like you name it. And he's sitting there, he's almost done the whole thing. And I think Amanda cuts him off and says, Mikhail, you're going to be sick. And he's like, I'm fine. And she said, no, like, Mikhail, that's it. And he honestly, like, the whole bowl of ice cream, both brownies, 1 piece of cake. And he was still going, to his credit. Amanda cuts him off. Okay?
How old is he now?
13.
So the metabolism just in the
my brother
gear.
Denver, in all his infinite glory, says, Mikhail, there's no way you're not sick. And Mikhail's like, I feel fine. And, like, Mikhail's, you know what I'm saying, but he's rarely, like he doesn't make himself the center of attention. He doesn't want to be. But now all eyes are on Mikhail because he's still just downing food. Like, there's no... Denver says, Mikhail, there's no way you're not sick. When we go outside, you do 100 jumping jacks, I'll give you $100.
Shut up.
Yep. And Mikhail very smugly looks at him and goes, American? And Denver says, well, I mean, I guess we're here knowing right well Mikhail can't do it. He went outside, and the other 3 kids counted every last one of them. Mikhail pumped out 100 jumping jacks, held out his hand. Where's my money?
Wow.
And then Denver paid him. Denver paid him, but like Mikhail, like 20 minutes later, is like, was Uncle just joking when he said that? I feel really bad now. Like, should I give it back? It's like, no, you're not giving that back.
No, you are not.
You earned every dollar of that, buddy. That was $1 a jumping jack. You keep that.
That's enough to get a bag of popcorn at Disney tomorrow.
Oh, man. We thought he was going to be sick, like at some point. No. He slept like a baby. He was fine. He had a snack when we got home.
Now,
he was
listen,
still going.
You're already looking up numbers for plumbers to come and fix this after
exactly
all this goes down, right?
Now, listen, we all have grown up together. We remember Tyson at that age, and yes, he could do probably the exact same thing. So that doesn't even remotely surprise me that he could do it.
Yeah, I'm sure I still hold records in different, no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, but like Wendy's, they see Tyson coming, it's like, hey, how many patties can we stick on one burger?
But to answer the question and then throw it to the other 2 guys, my honest answer, if I was to eat a food every day and who makes it best, Amanda makes a goulash. She makes a bunch of different meals, but she makes like a hamburger, noodle, tomato sauce, goulash thing. I could eat that every day. Every day. It's just on point. It's never not good. It's always good. In George's Pizza.
George's.
Jorge's Pizza. Gary's still deep in thought. I even tried to stall for him there with the story, but he doesn't know what he's going to...
But it takes him 2 hours just to figure out which restaurant he's going to contemplate.
I can't do it.
He could eat 100 chickens.
After he beat Chuck Norris.
I buy a farm and eat the farm.
Wow.
The Iron Sheik could beat 100 chickens. I put them in camel clutch. I will break their back and make them humble. Sorry. Just wanted to do an Iron Sheik. I would say I never had them before, but my wife's recipe there, Trish, she makes a banana chocolate chip muffin, and like, you know, I'm not really like big on baking stuff. Like I just don't, you know, it's great, it's fine, but like whenever she makes it, I'm so happy because I'm gonna bring it to work. And I'm gonna eat it in the morning. I'm gonna eat 2 in the morning at work.
I'm gonna eat it in front of people and not share it.
Yeah, I just got a kick at it. Like Jeremy started
excited.
it with like, you know, I'm not really into the baked goods. No carbs enter this temple.
Yeah, that's right. All you need to see is a picture to make that assumption. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
I hear you with that feeling though, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing that you weren't expecting it, and then you're like, "Oh man, it's happening!"
Yeah. Amanda makes like a bran muffin every once in a while. That's particularly good, but it's not like a sweet muffin. Like you heat it up, put a little bit of butter on it, and it's not all the time, but every once in a while, it just happens. And I come home and you can smell it, and it's just this pleasant, like, all right, next 3 days, going to be a tasty snack and regular.
You know you're getting at a certain age.
Yeah.
I like Katie's question here. I get a kick out of that.
Oh yeah.
Do you want me to?
By all means, carry on.
So Katie says, maybe you should talk about what you do for a living. Yesterday, Cameron said, I don't even know what Gary does for a job.
It's true.
We market this thing as 4 best friends.
Yes,
Cameron's like, what does he do?
Read the comment below that comment.
Oh, and
yeah, Gary's wife Heather says, I don't know either.
And she's the mother of his children.
Fair point.
I am an introvert.
I introvert from 8 to 5.
I feel like Gary's a secret agent of some sort or something, works for CSIS Canada, and that's why none of us really know what he does.
There used to be over in Fredericton, there is a building that CSIS does work out of, and it's not far from where Gary used to work.
No, you've solved the mystery.
Well,
Do you hear knocking on your door yet, Cameron?
if I told you where the building was, Gary, not like you don't already know.
Gary's like, don't ask any more questions if you know what's best for you.
Look, Gary's hands are down in the picture, and it's like he's texting something. I know I'm about to get swarmed.
Oh, man.
Go.
That's Jason
He knows
Bourne.
too much.
No, really, Gary, what the heck do you do?
Yes, Tyson doesn't even know.
Well, I think I know, but I'm not confident
okay,
enough to guess. What?
Tell us what you
I can
think
tell
he
you.
does.
I know what he does.
Rocks hard. That's what he does.
He looks great 24/7. Gets paid overtime.
These are all correct.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you.
People have died. Gary is
responsible for that cruise ship accident, isn't he?
Responsible for COVID.
I don't know. Your official title is software developer, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. So
you made that
also
$54 million COVID app for Trudeau. Right on.
that was him.
Also helped do the payroll system for the government as well.
Thanks, buddy.
That was me too.
Yeah.
And that whole thing with the TSA in the States there a couple of months ago.
Well played. Nice. Well
Nobody
played.
could fly for a day.
Well played,
was
buddy.
me.
Well played.
Let's just change his name to the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're also a team lead, are you not?
What are you on?
No,
Are you on his
I'm
LinkedIn
not.
or something?
His LinkedIn.
I don't use Facebook. Do you think I'm on LinkedIn?
See, more credence that he's a CSIS agent.
We go on LinkedIn and we find out that Gary's like this like top 10 influencer in North America. But I thought you were like a team lead
I
or
do
project
vocal
lead.
coach reaction videos.
Oh my gosh.
He seems to be skirting around this.
Oh, he's
question.
really not going to. He's
Hilarious.
not telling it.
No, I know.
I'm not a team lead. No.
Project lead?
Nope.
Are you a team player? Apparently not.
Nope.
I thought you said that one time.
So you're a software engineer.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Wow.
Okay, this is actually
See,
getting
just make fun of
frustrating.
me.
Like, is this?
This is like the best question ever. That's like the
No,
one
but
that
like,
won't stop.
I don't know everything that entails with Cameron's job because I'm sure it's more complicated than what I know on the base of what his job is. And probably the same said for you guys and me that like, yes, I'm a teacher, but like I have all these other responsibilities that you guys wouldn't know, but you know I'm a teacher. And I know what Jeremy does and everything, and I'm sure there's all kinds of ins and outs I don't know, but I know what he does.
Yes.
And then there's Gary.
Right.
Yes.
There's Gary.
Lifelong friends.
Black hole.
And Gary's like, yeah, sort of. Yeah. Well, I guess.
Gary, you know what? I think Gary's a DoorDash deliverer.
I wish.
More like door dashing.
I thought that Gary did software development for navigational tools for like ships and submarines and cruise ships and stuff for underwater, almost like underwater GPS.
Whoa.
That's what I thought Gary did.
Close.
Yes, but I will take close.
You're in the ballpark.
You forgot the military
All right,
application.
so I'm playing the right sport, but I'm still on the bench.
Yep.
Okay.
That's right. Yep.
All right.
We sell our software to government agencies.
See,
I knew
Oh,
it.
man. Oh, man.
They create the maps and navigational charts for all the ports and harbors in the world.
Wow.
And yeah, then they get sent off to the ships, and some of them are still on paper. Not very many nowadays.
Wow.
And yeah, I guess the paper ones would be more like leisure crafts, fishermen.
Wow.
But yeah, basically anybody who goes through a port or a harbor would need these maps.
So it like sometimes in your job you learn random stuff you never thought you'd know. Do you know like where every single port and harbor is, like in a large geographical area? You don't look at that kind of detail?
No, I don't really look at the customer's data so much.
Right.
I know
Probably not
I know more
allowed.
about like coordinate transformations and ellipsoids of the Earth and projections.
Okay, that's amazing.
Does the do you have to do you use Newtonian gravity or Einstein's model?
Here we go.
What is going on?
Oh, it's been a few months, boys. We're going there.
He's going to say he watched a
Everyone
YouTube
wants it.
video and then he deep dove and then he's going to get me to explain it, even though I haven't watched any of the videos he just watched. That's the routine.
Or he went into Wikipedia and totally got sucked in.
Oh no, he knows this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he knows.
Oh,
that,
you're
you
right.
know,
I do.
He's not so
He
much
knows this stuff
acting
as
as
well
being
as you
acted
know.
upon. He knows. He knows.
He knows this like vocal reactions, Cameron.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Actually,
that one was a little bit flat.
I surprised Jeremy not long ago with a comment about one of those reactions, and he was shocked.
Yes. I did not expect you to say that. I just feel like now you know the difference between head voice and chest voice. Do you not?
I absolutely do.
Katie walked in on Cameron last night, laying flat on the floor, doing breathing exercises with a stack of books on his diaphragm.
Well, how else does one get prepared for a podcast?
Oh, I wish we found out that before every podcast, Cameron laid on the floor and did like vocal exercises.
I find the acoustic sweet spot in this room.
Bumblebee.
The skeleton had shampoo in the shower.
Okay.
Mario.
Wow.
Gary, that was a little flat.
Well, you're not too good at it because that was not Gary.
Wow. Maddox would like to know what your favorite TV show is, past or present.
Well, that's yeah.
I thought you were going to get offended. I thought you were going to be like,
No.
well, that's a little personal.
Go ahead, Cameron. Tell
It's
off
like-
the 11-year-old.
No, it's like
Maddox,
when
you
you're younger,
mind your
of course,
business. I'll watch whatever I want. When I binge watched every episode of Gem, that was a phase.
Well, that's what I mean. Are we talking like
All time.
of all time? The one show, if you, I don't know.
I feel like there's categories.
I watched a lot.
That's almost.
Yes, there's like cartoons when you're young. Like I don't know.
Like sitcoms. I should say Seinfeld. I'm actually.
But you're gonna say Arrested Development.
No, I'm going Golden Girls.
Oh well, yes, okay, yep. You see sitcoms.
To which, call me a horrible parent or call me a great one. But my boys are watching the Golden Girls right now in order.
What's wrong with that? They're gonna learn.
Well, I'm catching a whole lot of jokes that when
You didn't when you were younger.
when I was younger, I didn't get it. So like the other night, the boys are watching, and the boys don't get it, right? But Sophia tells a story that she was engaged to another man before she got married, and now that man's in town and wants to see her. And Blanche just says, "Sophia, I guess I didn't know that you had a past." And Sophia said, "Of course I do, Blanche, just like you, except mine didn't require regular doses of penicillin." And when I was a kid,
that's funny.
I wouldn't have got that. And now I'm like, oh, man. That's actually really funny. Yeah.
Well, I remember
Yeah,
not
so-
originally getting the shiitake mushrooms when Dorothy had her arm broken. And she's like, oh, yeah, let's just change that to Miss Spornak eats shiitake mushrooms.
Correcting the grammar on her cast.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, like you said, there's so many different like categories.
It's tough because some of the old shows you have really good
you
feelings
have
about.
emotional,
But
like
then you
when I
watch
was-
them and you realize they're complete and utter garbage. And they haven't translated at all.
But man,
you know?
some of them hold up.
well at all.
Golden Girls holds up. Seinfeld.
Well, I always like Seinfeld. Yeah, it completely holds up.
MASH.
Yep.
Yeah, there's always a war.
But it's a wonder
Dawson's
it doesn't
Creek.
get canceled. Oh, Gary.
Listen here, Gilmore girl. Why don't you go sit down
Hey,
somewhere?
that was the next one on my list.
See, I told you.
Can't even make eye contact with you right now.
He has a Amy Sherman Palladino tattoo on his back.
You
Wow.
know what, Gary? You wouldn't
Wow.
Gary, you wouldn't have lasted a day.
Yeah,
on the
Balian.
creek.
Jeremy's going to go Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah. And I was going to pick that as the example of the most fond memories versus like worst show ever produced in the history of television.
Well,
but like,
have you seen the reboot?
You know, I have not seen the reboot. I saw that is it on Netflix now?
There is a trailer out for a reunion, and it's the original. Like,
I saw the trailer.
Yeah. Because I saw on Twitter that Amy Jo Johnson was getting flack for turning it down.
Yeah, and she came out and said that they didn't offer her enough money.
Basically. And she said, but she had, because I only saw it because someone was saying like something about Jason David Frank, who died, right? The Green Ranger. He passed away this past year. So she had to clarify because now they were bringing his name into it. She said, just so you know, it was actually all filmed while Jason was still alive, and we both turned it down. And I never actually said no. They made me an offer. And when I said, she said it's the way, I can't remember how it was worded, but it was basically the first offer they made, she turned down, which is how the game is played. And they just never messaged her back again. Like that was it. Like she was expecting a response back.
Yeah,
like a counter offer, and the counter offer just never came.
Yeah,
like
a little back and forth, obviously.
Yeah, like you never say yes to the first one, right? Like it's.
She probably has a bit of a chip on her shoulder from the way they were all treated. The initial.
Oh, you think?
The initial show. I mean,
yeah.
They made it sound like it was pretty rough.
I think
they didn't get paid anything, and they were like kids, and they were forced to be like these like rock stars because the show just exploded, and they never made any. They didn't pay them anything at all, and it's pretty wild.
Well, when you think about how popular of a we're getting off topic again, but when you think about how popular of a franchise that is, when you see them having to do Comic Cons every weekend to do $10 signings and stuff to make ends meet, like your show's on Netflix and it's a bunch of on streaming sites and they still rerun it on kids channels and they still do all, but you're doing $10 signings at a Comic Con on the weekend.
I didn't see any
at
of
a
it.
civic center in the middle of nowhere. Like it's.
Yeah.
We all know that it was just a ripoff of the original Voltron. Just saying.
Well, that's a different topic.
Well, that might be true.
I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to disagree.
The Voltron did not reach the popularity heights. You know what I mean?
And it's unfortunate it didn't. That's all I'm going to say.
Correct. And the reboot does suck.
Yeah. That was anyway, that's another whole. Maddox, we don't know, buddy. We can't answer your question.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Sorry, bud.
Dawson's Creek.
Oh, gosh. And right now, as I drive in the car listening to this, Amanda's cheering on Gary. Like, I always liked that Gary.
He was so Team Pacey.
I even liked Fringe. That was Joshua Jackson's later show.
Mighty Ducks, bud.
See,
Mighty
Team
Ducks.
Pacey again.
Little Charlie Conway action.
That's all I knew about it. Charlie Conway.
Last question, guys.
Yeah.
A song that represents your high school days.
Welcome to the jungle.
Stacy's mom. That's the first thing comes to mind. Pretty sure, I think it was the year I graduated.
I want to say Smells Like Teen Spirit, but I want to come up with something funnier than that. In your mind, without even blinking, like missing a beat. It's, oh, no, Stacy's mom.
That was big.
Yeah, but we want to know what song, Jeremy. That was big then. Puddle of Mud with that, She Hates Me or whatever.
Yeah.
Was big then,
that
too.
Was 2005, that was kind of the end of that, that big...
That era.
What do they call that? Post-grunge. It
was getting poppy, but it was still grungy sounding.
Yeah. They were still singing about how sad they were and all that stuff.
Doot, 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 doot. Yeah. All those songs. Wow.
But yeah, does that actually answer the question? Yeah, a song that represents your high school days. Yes, that would be it.
Jeremy's like, no, I'm sticking with Stacy's mom. Oh gosh, high school.
You could pick Sum 41 around then. You could pick.
Man, I'm old. That was university.
Yeah, I was thinking that
I
too.
was thinking high school is
for me.
probably like 1979. The song, not the year, Cameron.
Cameron's like, good year. Gary's like, Smashing Pumpkins. So that's wow. Yeah, man. I listened to a lot of Oasis through high school.
Yes, you did.
When was Glycerine?
I was just going to say Bush.
I was in high school.
I'm thinking Bush.
Wait,
Jam
Bush
and
X.
Machine Head.
They'll always
Bush
be Bush
X,
X to me, but they're Bush.
Yeah, that's right.
I did like I had 16 Stone, and then Razor Blade Suitcase came out, and the day it came out I had to go to CD Plus and get it.
CD Plus.
Yeah, and I had
Wasn't it
everything Oasis
ROW
came out with.
then?
It might have been, yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, Bush, Oasis, Pearl Jam.
Yep.
Are we talking like what I listened to or what was popular in
No,
high
Well,
school?
that's what I'm saying.
What your years, what your school would have when you think about your high school, what song would pop into your head as like a theme song for it?
Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls.
There you go.
Man, I think literally the year I graduated was Vitamin C graduation song.
It was everywhere. Now, see, this is why Gary Gary, I half expected you to say like Silverchair, Frog Stomp. You know what I mean? Like, nope, TLC, Waterfalls.
Oh, yeah.
When you're making it what applies to everybody, it rules out everything I listen to.
Oh gosh. Yeah, true. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a hard one because you can go deep or you can try to go funny. But
Well, I just trying to think of songs that everyone knew when I graduated, and that's what comes to mind. It was terrible. There was no good music when I graduated going on.
Terrible. There's no good music after 2002.
oh man,
Jay's starting to sound old.
Yep, it's getting there.
it does sound like we're old guys complaining, but like the early 2000s is when it started to transition to like everything's computer, or they're pushing buttons, or they're right. Because even like in the 90s,
like
as
a
pop,
Radiohead
but as
album.
poppy as some of that music was, still like the pop stuff in the 90s, it was actual instruments. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they still.
Yeah.
I might not have liked it, but there was a craft to it, and now it just feels like I don't know. Maybe I am sounding like that old guy just complaining because I guess
I think
times change.
I think
right?
you are the old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is true.
No.
You know what's crazy? I think about this sometimes. When I was in high school, I thought of like the classic rock that like you'd have that station, right? You hear classic rock from like the 70s and 80s, and in your mind you were like, "Oh man, that is so old." But now you think back to the music we were just talking about. Well, that's the same time again. Back to those days.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
There's as much time.
It's as much time
then and now. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
But like, I don't hear any of the music that I listen to on 103.1 here in Moncton, the classic rock station. I mean, I don't know. It's not the same thing. It's not like classic rock is like a time frame. It's like classic rock means rock from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. Nowadays, instead of a classic rock TV station, it's the teens are now reacting to what we listened to when we were teens.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There was
That'll make you ugly. You'll see them like going first time listening to
ska.
Yeah.
But like
a kid from now is like trying to get like a Nintendo to work, an original Nintendo, and you sit there and go, well, anybody can figure that out, and you're like, oh, wait.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but it's interesting. Like I tried to, in one of my courses, we're talking about the timeline of things at school. Like we do this for sociology because all technological advances actually link to societal changes, right? Like, so I tell them like the term laundry day, like, oh, it's laundry day. And they've all heard that term. And I said, yes, because did you know laundry day used to take you all day? Like it was physical labor. Right. You washed all those clothes by hands. So you saved it all for one day because it was going to be a hard day and you did it all. Like times change. But music, the history of recorded music going back to the 1920s, all the way to about 1998, 1999, 2000, music changed a lot. But it had a lot of similarities in that you still had to play instruments. Through the 1920s, for 80 years of recorded music, all the way up to that certain point, and including before recorded music, when they played music, it was instruments. And in the early 2000s, it went from, hey, I can play that, to, hey, I can make that.
Synthesizers.
Well, it's more than synthesizers.
I mean,
Jeremy,
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
there was a fundamental shift.
Synthesizers have been around for...
Yeah.
Well... It's really like what you're talking about is, oh boy, and I stopped myself. It's gonna be boring. No one's gonna care.
Yeah.
Break down why or what that is.
No, but it's a difference in creation techniques. True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like no matter what style it was, like I could still like, even though I was definitely a grunge kid when I was a teenager and listened to Nirvana and early Foo Fighters and Pearl Jam and you know what I mean, and
yes, you were an angry child.
But what I had in common with Dad's music is it still both had guitars, drums, bass. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Different styles. And now it's, I got a Fruity Loop station and I'm sitting there with my touchpad recording which is a completely different skill set. I can't do it. But it has dramatically changed music.
Well, I guess like a really big example of that's like Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
How do you say that?
Yeah.
Eilish.
Yeah.
So if I have this right, she started recording music with her brother, like in the bedroom of their house, right?
Yep.
Did they not?
Yep. Yeah.
So like that was impossible. That was not a thing. You know,
we couldn't have done that when we were teenagers.
No,
was not an option.
Like he could. Right. He could produce something in his bedroom with consumer equipment that would compete with like, the best sounding stuff you'd hear on the radio. And that was not possible 20 years ago.
No.
It just wasn't. You had to spend a huge amount of money in a studio and get very good equipment and musicians and things to do that. And now you can just do it.
Yep. I guess that's the change. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It is a fundamental change, and
yeah, for sure.
Different times change and things change.
And I'm going to apologize to everybody because that wasn't funny at all. That was just us.
a commentary on the society of the state of music.
Yeah, we like music and we never get to talk, and we just kind of deep dove into sorry.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I was watching the time. And then I completely lost track of the time, and now it's been an hour and 40 minutes.
No, it hasn't.
Oh, you know what?
Yes,
I think this thing will cut us off at 2 hours, too.
Well,
wow.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that's our limit.
Well, okay.
I don't know, boys. We'll just keep it a mega one. First time back, right? I'll trim it down some.
Well, you'll trim it down some, but
sure.
Hope everybody stayed with us through all this, and Well, we haven't released an episode since Christmas. There. We plan on being regular again. We think we figured some stuff out here, and we can,
Tyson loves his bran muffin, so.
Gosh.
Very regular here.
No, but we tried to, just so everybody knows. Shut up, Cameron.
Our BMs have been a little inconsistent.
Attaboy, host Papa.
Gosh. Yeah. Yeah, we'll give that lad a block of cheese. We'll see who's regular or not.
Lactose intolerant guy. Yeah, okay.
That was only ever funny with Cameron because one time we went to play Risk and the container for all his black little men in the Risk board broke. So he had it in his empty bottle of lactose pills.
Guess what? They're still in it.
Probably.
I still have it.
That was only funny to like 13-year-old Tyson Theriault in his lactose container for what if I have milk today, holding all the little, guys for his wrist game. Anyway. No, but just so everybody knows at home, we 90% of the time we like to record in person with each other. And lately, not even because of COVID, but actually because of COVID this time again, but it's just becoming with schedules harder and harder and harder. And Gary had it, then I had it, then Jeremy had it, and now we're, you know what I mean? So now we're trying online again, but through different means and hoping this works out. And if it does, not only will we get back regularly to one episode a month, but if it's as easy as we think this might be for us with the gear that we have, then maybe we can do more than one a month. I guess we'll see, but we're not going to let not being able.
We'll make it up to you.
Yeah, we're not. We're in 3 different cities, so it does get hard. But we've tried multiple times to no avail, and tonight we're trying online. So we hope this finds you well, and hope
you might hear us more.
Yeah, more often, AJ, and hopefully we didn't lose too many listeners over the last 2 months that we. So thanks to everybody for sticking with us, and
shouldn't be too hard to get all 3 of them back.
It was 6, Jay. Let's stop.
That's twice as much as I said.
France guy, we hope we didn't lose you over that.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks for listening, everybody, and like, subscribe, all that stuff. Message Facebook for me. Tell them you want me to have access back, and.
You may never see this podcast because we may never be able to post it.
Unreal.
Anyways, boys, good to see you.
You too.
See you again soon.
All right, guys.
No, what I want to say is, you still have the box? Yes? Great. Put it in the box, take it to the person that gave it to you, and beat them with it.
Put it in the box, take your liver-spotted hands, take that box.
You just wasted some of your life listening to the Bush League podcast. You must stop what you're doing right now. Like and subscribe and leave a 5-star rating. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and like us on Facebook.